Isn't it a little difficult to understand? No?
There were some words that were hard.
I will spend 2 or until next class, I will explain in detail the introduction part. In any book, introduction is explaining all the other areas. So it's very general. It's not easy to understand the introduction without any pre-knowledge. So I will explain some new concepts or new ideas. And before that, I want to deal with the several important basic concepts for this book, for our class. Now, do you have our syllabus? Can you syllabus? When you read the 강의개요, the general outline of this lecture, there are 5 elements. The first thing is recognize today's world characterizing multicultural all over the world, and analyzing today's world problems. And what's the phenomenon of world problems and fundamental or basic problems. And number 4, the limit of money power. So first I want to talk about world problems, the phenomenon. Please open your notebook. Please write down what you think, what world problems nowadays. You can write as you think. Please write. What is the world problems you think? Many people want to live in the society or in the world without problems. You want a family without any problems. You want a family very comfortable, very peaceful. But actually, in any family, or in any society, in any world, there are problems. If you solve any one problem, soon after that, another problem is arising. We cannot escape from problems. Whenever people gather together, there are always problems. So nowadays, we are living in 24th century. So please write down what is the most important problems in this world we have to solve.
Excuse me, global problem or Korean problem?
I don't mean just Korean problem, world problem. The leaders in our world, or the leaders in our country, have to come forward with the solution of your country's problems. The leader's responsibility is showing or giving solution to our society, right? So, in order to show the solution, first we have to know what the problem is. In order to live in the 21st century, we have to know what the world problems are in this world. Okay, Eva, what did you write in world problems? What do you think was the problem?
I think that cohabitation is cohabitation
Cohabitation.
is one of problem in the world.
Cohabitation with whom? With the
Because if we talk about
habitation means co-living.
co-living,
With whom?
human being and human being from each continents or countries or races or culture is a problem still in our world.
So the characteristic of modern world is pluralistic society or multicultural society. So many different cultures not be together. So why is that problem?
It's a problem because whenever people try to do that, it never works out successfully.
Successful.
Yeah.
Why?
Because the environment doesn't accept that, I guess. Because, for example, if for now you want to co-living with the people, you must go only in really developed countries, and once you arrive in those developed countries, you must live in a really developed city if you want to be accepted. But if you don't respect that, you want to live maybe in a really, maybe a countryside of any place on earth, I don't think so you can survive, because you can disappear for anywhere, because those people won't accept you in that place because they are not developed, for example, or they don't know much about agriculture. And I think this is a lot of problem. Most of people don't want to live only in the main cities or great cities. They also want to live, for example, in Busan or small villages, but they can't afford that. They must live in Seoul, Busan, because those people, they are intellectually developed and they know about maybe foreigner or more culture. So I think it's still a problem. If we they localize living in the main city or in small areas, if the living life is the same, I feel like, yeah, this is really globalization.
Globalization.
Yeah.
So globalization, to have a globalization life, how we should do?
The same living life that we have in the main cities has to be the same system and the same mind in the countryside.
So this developed civilization or culture should be planted into the remote area, you mean?
Exactly.
And the point is, the world problem is there are lots of people who gather together in one area. It means the globe is coming close and close, and small and small. So there are lots of communication, lots of exchange of stuff, material stuff, and ideas, and even the spiritual things. You know what you mean what this is?
Exactly, because now you're saying the world is becoming smaller and more people, so which means we have to go everywhere, we get to be everywhere. Like now we have a lot of exchange students, we're not all from Korea, but how many developed countries in the world? There are not more than 20 countries in the world. But how many countries in the world? There is 200 countries, and only 10% are developed. So, do you think that all the 80% of people can be allowed to come and live in only the 20%? Which means it's a problem for those people to be accepted in this only 20% of the country developed. So it's a big problem. Everyone cannot come to Korea, everyone cannot go to USA or European countries. So which means more countries has to be developed, and more we are developed, more people are accepted, because no one will tell you, ah no, this guy is from a poor country, that's why he's trying to come in my city. But if it's a developed person from a developed country going to another developed country, I don't think so there is a trouble about that. An American can live here and a Korean can live in America. They both don't really need anything because they almost have the same thing in their respective countries. So I don't think so it's the main problem. But a poor guy like me from Gabon going to live in Russia, I don't think so they will accept me because I'm from a poor country. So probably I'm trying to get an advantage that the real Russian could have got if. So I don't think so the globalization is welfare.
Yeah, and you mean there is too big gap between the rich and between the poor. This is a problem all human beings have to solve. Okay. What is the other problems? What are the problems?
Global warming.
Global warming. Global warming. Global warming cannot be solved by any one country, two or three countries. There is the really world problem. All the world leaders have to brainstorm their ideas, their solution to climate or environment problems. Today's world problem cannot be solved by just one country or big superpowers. That's right. And any other problem?
Countries conflict.
Countries conflict?
Yeah.
You mean the war?
Yes. Between countries.
Wars have been always happened in the history. But why today's war is especially the problem?
I say maybe because a lot of there are a lot of attention to making new and more dangerous things in every country. This kind of aim can destroy the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
We can destroy ourselves if we can't stop. We can destroy everything. It's dangerous.
You should explain your today's scientific technology is very powerful, especially nuclear bombs have a lot of power to destroy all of the world. If the American, Russia explode their nuclear bombs, maybe this globe will explode, scatter it. But today's world problem is very big problem. Mugi, what did you add?
I wrote like lack of resources.
Lack of
Resource.
resources? What resources? Natural resources?
Natural resources. Maybe in the future, citizens of the whole world will face with the drinking water problem, and they can find a place to live.
Why? And the natural resources getting shorter and shorter.
Because people use overuse, and they after using that water or while they won't recover, they don't do anything for the like recovery.
They just enjoy spending and wasting away. So the natural resources are getting shorter and shorter. It's also a problem for the next generation. Especially, as he said, rich countries waste away lots of materials so far. These days, China is developing their economy very rapidly, and they use lots of natural resources. Also, after using the natural resources, they emit lots of pollutants. Pollution also a problem. Right. And any other problem? What did you like?
Right after
Pollution. And any other problem?
I have eating financial capitalism, not just industrial capitalism. I mean the financial capitalism, the DT.
What is the financial capitalism? You mean the capitalism has a big problem?
Yes, but is almost 17th century, 19th century maybe is industrial revolution, and then we gathered the capital. At the time, we call it industry capitalism, but nowadays it's a very funded. What is that? Something like that. Yeah. So it's more is not physical thing. Just count the number in the monitor. So that is financial capitalism.
Did you understand?
Maybe,
Or-
I don't know, when you mean that, take for example, American financial system, if doors fail, so it, other countries depends on American doors. So if America fails, so that means that other countries fails too. You mean this?
Yeah. In the past time, we trade the physical, actual commodity. And nowadays, just we exchange this invisible value. Yeah, something is
You mean stock?
yeah, like that. And
Okay, I can help him explain. When the new capitalism starts in Western country, capitalistic society was possible through the trade, through making products, manufacturing. Factory and chimney was the representative of the industrialization in olden times, right? The modern economic system started from the mass production, right? So 1 century or 2 centuries ago, the richness means having lots of factory, lots of products. But these days, the rich means the rich have a lot of money. So today's capitalism represented by money. It means money doesn't have any space like products. Money is where is money is run? Where is the center of the economy nowadays? Huh? China? I don't think it, not now. I mean, where does the 2008 world economic crisis start? America, where? In New York, Wall Street. Well, does the people do in Wall Street? They sell stocks. It is called financial capitalism. So you want to say that today's financial capitalism has lots of problems. And you said American financial system influence all of the world. Though the 2008 world economic crisis starts in America, it starts from some mortgage problem, but that problem influences all of the world. Through that, a lot of people are fired from the works, and a lot of people get bankrupt. A lot of people lost their jobs. Yeah, financial problem. It is called, also say, we can say that market problem, today's market problem. Economic problem, environment problem, and the political problem, you said war. Yeah? It can be said to be political problem, and the big gap between the rich and the poor is also economic problem, right? Even what? What did you think?
No.
Yeah, there are lots of problems. But why? And what? That is the phenomenon of problems. And if you analyze those problems, if you get into the depth, I think there are some fundamental problems. All things start from our thought. Do you think so?
People are greedy.
Yeah, I will go. Greed. Greed. Between the gap, the rich and it's the greed of the rich. The rich want have more and more, right? And there is one rich person who has 99 things. And there is a very poor person who has only 1%. When you see these two people objectively, it's very easy. The person who is rich, who have 99, can give 5 or 10, even 10 to the poor. It's very easy. But actually, the person who has 99 things won't have more to fulfill, to have 100%. It means human beings' greed is there's limitless. This is one of the characteristics. So without controlling this greed, it's very difficult to solve this problem. Why do the people spend away or waste away lots of natural resources? They are too greedy. What does the greed means? Having more and more. It means only think my comfort, my benefit, my profit. The greedy people don't think of other people's benefit. They always self-centered. It's a problem. Even the pollution was made by the greedy people. Especially in European philosophy or ideas. In European philosophy, man is the lord of the universe. Human being is the center of the globe. Human being is the center of the universe. So it's natural for human beings to exploit, to develop the nature to make use of the nature. Why? We are the Lord. But that makes a problem. But in Oriental ideas, in Oriental philosophy, human beings is not the Lord, is not the master of nature. Human being is among nature. We are one of the elements of nature. We are not the Lord of nature. So this basic idea, this fundamental idea, changed the history, modern European history and Eastern history. Eastern people did not try to exploit the nature. They always want to have the harmony with nature. Why? So nature is their mother womb. But in European countries, they always try to develop the nature for human being. So they always want to dominate the nature. So the human-centered ideas. So these days, I think Western philosophy needs the Oriental, nature-oriented ideas, I think. Okay? So through this book, we can understand what the problem is in Western economic ideas. Okay. And next, as Evan said, today's modern world is characteristic of pluralistic society, and the second is capitalism, market-oriented society. Without market, today modern world's economy is impossible. So, in order to solve the world problems today, we have to understand pluralism, plural society, and we also have to understand capitalism. Though your major is not economics, you need to understand capitalism. Without understanding capitalism or market, you cannot lead your country. Even you are primary or elementary school teacher, you should have this wide perspective. If you only focus on your just major, you cannot solve the big problems in the world. I really hope you all try to understand the basic concept of the economy, modern economy, capitalism, and pluralist society. So now I will define the pluralism and multicultural. There is a big difference different concept about the human being between Far Eastern concept of human being and Western ideas. Human being, in Chinese letter, human being is that. Is that right? How do you pronounce it in Chinese letter? Huh? Speak up. 真仙. Again? Yeah. It's just the same. Human being is Zhenjian, right? Human being is what?
People.
People.
Generally.
Can you translate in English?
Zhenjian, just like heaven or I don't know.
Heaven?
Just or society.
Just society. As you know, in European, especially modern European society, individualism is very important. Democracy always go with usually individualism. In olden times, which was more important? The ruler, the king, or the subject? King. King was more powerful, king was more important. So in that olden society, individuals are not important. The subjects always obey the king, right? But from the 17th century European country, all the citizen group, especially the citizen group, the merchants group, are awakened that individual liberty, individual value is very important. They found out individual value. So at last they collapsed. They destroyed the kingdom society. And they made the citizen society. Right? So from that time, in European history, individualism is very important. Even now, in European country, individual value is more important than the government or the country. Right? Even in Korea, in China, in Japan, or most of Asian countries, the ruler is more important, consciously, unconsciously. Of course, the apparent system, in political system, individual liberty or value is very important, but consciously, even now, king or leader is more important than the subjects. When you analyze the Chinese letter, in Korean is pronounced ingan. This is human. Chinese letter. Chinese letter is represents some meaning, have some meaning. In English, individual means alone, one being. Individual means the original meaning is divide. From the divide, and in is the suffix of not, no. So individual means not divided. We cannot divide more. Individual is the last reality, final reality. You know what I mean? In material world, the final fundamental element is called the atom. Have you heard the atom? You know, in chemistry or in the material world, atom is the final element of all material, right? Likewise, atom is the real being, real existence of the material. It means if we divide all the materials, at last we find out the atom, which cannot be divided anymore. So atom is the final cause of material. You know what I mean? It is called in philosophy reality. The reality is the opposite concept of appearance. When you judge other people, when you think of other people, first we see other people's appearance. Oh, she's beautiful. This is outward appearance. But what is real in yourself? We usually think our spirit is more real than just a physical body. So likewise, reality is the essence of anything. So individual means every person has their own reality. So the more important existence is each person, not the kings, who represents all the country, all the people. Do you understand what I mean? That in America or in England, each citizen is very important government policy. So the government always try to respect the individual value or individual liberty. You know what I mean? So when the Western people think of a human being, they usually think one final atom, one final individual. Why? Every individual have his or her own value, reality. Okay? And it's very simple. American people are more individualistic than Korean people. Korean people think the society or community is important than just one person. Have you ever seen the Korean game? The Korean young people, before, the Korean young people really likes the game. It's like, how can I say? With the hammer, there are several holes. The frogs come out here and here. So we use the hammer. We have to hit the hammer, getting the hole that come out. Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
What does that mean? Now in Korea, if somebody is arrogant, most other people really don't like arrogant people. So in Korean, in the class in Korea, if I ask questions, most people, most of students don't raise their hands. They are very shy. They want to be arrogant or very proud. But in America, many students always they raise hands. So the teacher, the professor cannot pinpoint out all the students because there are so many students who want to answer the questions. They are very individualistic. So it means they want to express their ideas to the full. But maybe in China or Japan and Korea or most of it in Asia, the students usually try to express their ideas individually. You know what I mean? He wants to hide his real things, he said. And he said he's also shy. So in Western ideas, in Western thoughts, human being means individual, not communitarian. But in Oriental society, even when they say one human being, they use this word. It means one person and the other person. It means human being cannot exist by himself or by herself, alone. It means that human beings have value just in the society, with the relationship with other people. If you're alone, you are not human being, real human being. In order to be a real human being, you have to be in the family, or in the society, or in the country. Do you follow me? Yeah. The concept is different. So in this sense, when you see today's world, Oriental ideas is more useful to solve the world problem. As we already said, today's world problem cannot be solved by any one country, any one superpowers. We have to get our wisdom, we have to get our knowledge to solve this world problem. human being cannot be alone as a real human being. Okay? So in this sense, Oriental idea is very important. Today, through the Western civilization, we can see lots of separation from human beings and human beings, rich countries, poor countries, and human separation from the nature. We are alone. So actually, many people feel lonely, even in the big country, even in the big city. Each person feels emptiness, alone. Why? I think that's the influence by the Western individuals. So in order to solve today's problem, we need more pluralistic ideas or networking ideas or intertwined ideas. You see what I mean? I have read one poem. It was very interesting. In that poem, we can see clouds through the paper. When you see the paper reminds me of clouds. Can you guess? Why the poet is saying that? What?
Paper comes from the pulp.
Paper.
Yeah.
Paper. What is made of paper? Huh? Pulp. A pulp. What is pulp? Where is pulp from?
Wood.
Wood, tree. Yeah? Without tree, you cannot make paper, right? How the tree? The tree, in order for the tree to live, to survive, the tree needs some water, right? It means if there is no rain, we cannot see the tree. We can see only the desert. So in order to plant and grow the tree, we need rain. Where is the rain from? Clouds. What does that mean? What does that poet want to say to us? All things is connected, not just individual. If you are individual, you cannot survive. Only the nature itself, including human being, all nature is interconnected. So, yeah, human being cannot never survive alone by ourselves. What is the most terrible prison? What is the most terrible jail? Solitary prison. If you live in the island, you feel lonely, we cannot survive. We need some life. Why do you love? When you are adolescent age, you want to have a date with different gender, right? It's natural. Why? We cannot survive alone. It's natural. So nowadays, we need more interconnected ideas, I think. Okay, let's have 10 minutes. 그만 찍어야